Hello there, welcome back to Project 52, where the plan is to produce 52 tracks in 1 year. In this video we are producing the track for week 24, so let's get right to it and make this week's track. New week, new track. Let me show you what I've done so far for this week, and then we'll move forward into producing the rest of the track. Let me play the drums in full first. They sound like this. And then in this fuller section with the hi-hats not low pass filtered anymore as they are in the intro using SSF, the drums sound like this. We also add a snare sounding thing here. And then later on we introduce a new shaker and a layer to the snare, which now that I think about it could be moved together with the other layer of the snare. As for the bass group, we just have one sound in there, which is a faceplant patch, as my basses usually are, and this one sounds like this. In the intro we use SSF, I think, once again to... Actually this time we high pass filter the bass first, so it sounds like this. And then we just kind of, if you look at the automation here, we just bring it in for the section after the short intro. Next up in the leads group, we have this sound right here. And then also we have this sound, which is kind of a melody on top of all the other elements, and that sounds like this. And then for the lead also we have this second layer, which is just a tiny bit of high frequencies added on top, and that's just a faceplant patch. By the way, the other two were just Analog Lab presets, as is common for me. And then lastly, as always, we don't have that many effects yet, but we do have this ambience recording, adding some noise. Then we have whatever this is. And then lastly, we have one impact here, which is kind of actually quite aggressive now that I hear it in solo, but it kind of works in the track, so that's fine. Okay, so here's everything so far for week 24 of Project 52, and after this, let's move on into trying to produce the rest of the track. Oh, actually, before I play the track to you, I want to point out this one part that I have for the drums. We have this loop here, which sounds like this without any effects. Then I just kind of flattened it out a bit because it has a lot of transients that we don't need that aggressive. So with all the dynamics and actually quite a bit of EQing as well, and also reverb, but with all these it sounds like this. And then to get the rhythm that you heard, I am using SSF, as I very often do with the volume mode, and I just randomized a cool rhythm. And with this, the clapping loop sounds like this. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that before I play the track, because I thought that was, once again, a kind of cool way of using SSF. I like to use it a lot with the volume mode. It's just very good, if I can say so myself. I don't know. Check it out if you haven't yet. Okay, let's hear the track now. first thing I thought we could try to do is get some sort of response to this sound here. And actually, before I started recording, I had an idea of what it could be, but now I forgot about it already. So I'll try to first remember how that went, but if I'm not able to replicate it, we'll come up with something new. So I already had this sound here, which is not going to be the sound that we are going to be using, but I thought with this we could just first lay out the melody and then just look for a better sound. That's good, but let's try to look for a better sound and hear if we can find anything that would actually make the track better. I hear potential in this sound. I think I could make it work with a slight bit of processing. So let's see if I'm able to make that happen. So I think we need cram it further and flatter. Okay, it's much better mix-wise, I think, like how the sound fits in the track, but I just don't think that we need the melody. It's too much. Let's get rid of it and only use the one that we had originally. So I have now wasted a bit of time, but it's fine because that's what I usually do anyway. So let's move on into maybe the next section after what we've done so far. So I'll just delete you. Bye-bye. 30 minutes of my life. One thing that we could try is adding a layer that plays the same MIDI as this sound does here. And we would bring up its volume only for these quiet sections where the main melody is, or the main lead is not playing. Okay, I'll try to practice some discipline here. I will not do that now, I will do it later once we have the arrangement ready, and then I'll start fine-tuning things. I'm sick of looking for presets. I'll try to make something myself, although it never works out. It's taking the same frequency space and also it's taking the same stereo space, so it's getting totally buried under the sound that we already had. Let's think. No. Oh, this is what I mean when I say that I can't sound design anything. no idea how I'm once again in this situation where I have kind of two scales going on at the same time. Like for example, first we are in just the basic D major, D minor scale, and then suddenly we have G major, which is not in the scale of D minor. So these two are kind of obvious. Then we could go there, come back here. Well, what should we do next? No, that doesn't work either. Oh. Oh my god, it's different in the second half. We'll use that. I'm imagining some sort of chant in the background. This could be very cringe, so prepare yourself, but I will try to do it anyway.
Whoa, whoa!
This could work. It actually sounds very similar to the sound that we used in the melody. Maybe actually some distortion as well, why not? My CPU is not liking this. Let's see how long I have been recording. Okay, 1.5 hours, so quite a lot. I'll just try to wrap up the arrangement very quickly, and that should be it for this week's video, but I'll try to add another layer for the bass. So that's the final idea, I hope the final idea for this section. And then we move on into probably just copying one of the existing sections and then just make some sort of drum outro, as I often do. I'll try to first make the sound by not listening to it at all, and let's see how it turns out. This could be terrible, but I kind of know what I should do. Okay, let's hear it. Okay, it's not quite the sound that I was looking for. That's good. My CPU is barely keeping up, so I don't know if we should freeze something. So that should be it for that section, and then we just need to figure out the rest. And I already think we have all the elements, so now we just have to copy and paste pretty much. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so what's our next move? the new bass sound doesn't quite work as well as I hoped, so I don't know what to do about it. Also, the vocal synth that we used in the break, it's, well, I mean, it kind of works, but I don't know if we should just add a brighter layer instead of the actual same sound. Okay, let me listen to the whole track now that I think I have the arrangement, and if it's not terrible, I'll just keep it the way it is and end the video for today and do the mixing and mastering tomorrow and just record the track for you to hear finished in full at the end of this video. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, I guess. There are a couple of sections that I would like to change, but I might do that tomorrow before I do the mixing and the mastering, and that I will do off camera. So that means this could be it for this week's video. I'm pretty happy with the results, to be honest. I was already kind of starting to bang my head against the wall while I was working on the track earlier today, because I just couldn't figure out what I want the track to become. I had totally different sounds for the chords, and I just kept on trying to make those work, and then I just decided I'll just scrap them and start kind of over and try to find something that excites me again, so I get the spark back for the project, if that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. Once again, week 24, we are so far already. Be sure to be subscribed if you want to see the future videos as well, and do also like the video if you enjoyed it, because that apparently helps in showing the video to other people and maybe also to someone who wants to join the challenge with me. And speaking of joining the challenge, if you would like to join the challenge of Project 52 and try to produce one new track for each week, you can do so by following the link. I mean, you can do so by just doing it, but if you want to share the progress with others, you can follow the link in the description, which will take you to the 6sample Discord server, and there we have a Project 52 text channel in which we share the tracks each week and give feedback to other people on their tracks as well. So if you would enjoy that, you're more than welcome to join. We would absolutely love to have you there. Alright, that could be it. I can't think of anything else to say. Here is the track that I will be finishing tomorrow, and next week we are starting week 25 of Project 52, so I hope to see you then. Bye bye.